No. Why did I do this? It looks so unnatural. Let me be a mom real quick. Hi there. So it's been a while since I've actually picked up the camera to vlog. I have been answering some questions about taking photos with like a big camera inside, and I'm getting ready to take some pictures of Blakely real quick, and I thought maybe I could set it up and show you what I'm doing and then kind of do a voiceover and walk through it. So these will be just a few quick tips. I probably have a number at the top, but it'll be that many tips on how to take better pictures inside with your DSLR. But a lot of these tips I'm gonna give you will apply to an iPhone or a camera like this as well. Okay, so I am going to get all of my gear out, and then I'm going to kind of contain her into an area and try to start. I think honestly the hardest part about doing this will just be like containing her, not the photography part. So I'm hoping that'll be the same for you after these tips. Hi there. No. My first tip is to open all the windows and doors that you can in the room that you're going to be taking pictures of. When you are in the room and just started taking pictures, it may seem like opening one window is not a big deal, but let me tell you, that window could add light behind your subject, so it doesn't look like there's a black hole that you're just shooting into. That could provide more light for your subject. You can't always see it with your eye, but the camera will pick up some of that light incredibly, so you just have to kind of go with that process and let in all the light sources that you can. This isn't a tip for all photographers, because some photographers are doing a certain style on purpose, but this is for moms. Like, this is how I could get good pictures of Tristan. I had enough light in my house to crank up my shutter speed. I didn't have to keep it down low so that everything blurred. I know that can be a problem, so I think that is really key. Open all windows, open all doors. When I say doors, that is a great place to put somebody like her age right here. Look at these windows. They are just wall to floor, or wall, like ceiling to floor with light. That is great, because a window is kind of hard for her because the light stops. Usually windows are like kind of up to here on a wall maybe, so that light is coming down, but it's not like directly at her like doors are. So opening windows, opening your doors. Let me be a mom real quick. No. So opening your windows, opening your doors, that is a big key. Second is to turn out all the lights behind you, around you, anywhere. All these kinds of lights like that are overhead, all those lights back here were on. I turned them off because I know that the color cast that those lights can have is way worse than any little light that they could probably provide. So basically what I'm saying is that the problem when I take these photos into Lightroom and I go to edit them, the problem that I really see when I leave these lights on is that orange on top of the hair, orange glow in the background when I want a nice clean white background. That can be a problem in editing. So any light that they're providing is just not worth it because of that. Again, there are instances where you would want them on, you want that look, but for typical photographers, this is one of the things that we do. We go into a room, wedding days, I have to turn off the lights several times, and sometimes it puts people in the dark for a little bit. Well, it looks like the dark, but then it's like this beautiful bright picture. I'll show you one real quick. So this image, we were in this really dark room in this church, but we opened all the windows that we could, and then we turned off the lights. There's no flash on this picture. It looks clean and white and beautiful, and you wouldn't know that it was a gloomy, rainy day without a lot of light letting in, where people really could not see well even with the windows open when I turned the lights off. So there you go. Number 3, to kind of keep your images consistent and get variety, is to play around with different light sources. To get variety in your images, you would want to shoot with light like this, with light like this, with light like this. You would want to shoot all around, kind of do that And then you could have all of this different variety. You could have like a silhouette shot of them like playing with a toy, good profile. You could have a shot like this where it's more clean. Then you can have a shot like this where you play with like the shadows on their faces, features and everything. That gives you good variety. Just changing your perspective of your subject and not even moving them can give you some awesome results. Say hey! Another thing is to look for natural reflectors. So natural reflectors are things that you can find naturally. We are talking about indoor tips right now, but I'll give you an example. A natural reflector right now outside all around us is snow. It's bright, it's white. The sidewalk is a great one. These are things that you find in nature just around that bounce that light off great and put it right back into your subject's face, really light their eyes well. For this, we could use like this playpen, this white stuff right here kind of provides a little bit of light bouncing. A blanket, like a white blanket. Let's think. If I wore a bright white t-shirt and stood in front of this light this way, just like my face is bouncing it off now, the t-shirt would bounce it off too. So, hold on, I found something on the floor. Let me grab that. Okay. So the t-shirt would bounce it off too, jacket, t-shirt, whatever, sweater. So those things would really, oops. No. She got faster when she saw the escape route. Oh my goodness, slightly. So a natural reflector, look for those inside. In the kitchen, it's like our kitchen counter is a good one. Our bedding, you'll see in a minute, is like a really good one. What else? Yeah, basically, natural reflectors. Look for those. Anything that can bounce subject onto your light. Anything that can bounce light onto your subject's face is a big deal. It's really gonna help you out. Sorry, I'm not picking my nose, but it's really gonna help you out. It's gonna make your pictures a little bit more dynamic, add pop to their eyes. Listen, let me go on a rant real quick about eye popping. When I first started photography, everybody was making eyes pop by using Photoshop. Now, people tend to make their eyes pop by using filters and apps and things like that. Don't do that to you kids. I look back at some of Tristan's pictures and I have like the original type and I'm like, his eyes look so weird. Like, this is not, why did I do this? It looks so unnatural. And maybe that was more just me being an amateur with it all, but I just don't recommend doing that. It can not look great. So she's standing at the window right now. I'm gonna take a few pictures and get back to you. Let me set this up. Hand them a little snack because you may not see it in these wider shots, but it's going to keep them still and entertained. My camera turned off, so I don't know how much of that you got, but I kind of tried to do a silhouette photo of her. The only issue with doing a silhouette with this area that I have is that the background, you can kind of see those chairs over there and then the big pole thing between the windows that kind of stood out in the photos. That's why it's good to do it in a window that like doesn't have that, or if it was up higher and you couldn't see that, or she was spaced where she wasn't right where that little thing was coming out of her head. But overall, I think they're gonna be really cute. So now we're going to go back to our room. I'm going to set her on the bed, set this camera down, and take a few pictures on there really quickly because she's gonna try to crawl everywhere. So really quickly, just a tour. Here's the window. Here's the bed that I'm going to kind of have her on. And I'm going to get shots from several different angles, but we shall see. Love you. Oh, hey there, pretty girl. So this is some good, nice side light. Oop, and then we'll pop her back in the middle. I'm going to try to use this wall behind me as a reflector and to get a shot that way. But these and this bedding, also great reflectors. Okay, let me get my settings for you this way, sweet girl. Hey, 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 nope. Oh, you wanna read? You wanna read the book? Here's your crazy book. Read that book. Read that book. So right now the light's behind her, and you'll see they look like this. And let's see what it's gonna look like the other way. Whoa. Come here. Let's see. Oh, look at her face. Oh, where's Becky? Becky, are you looking at the camera? It's fine. Oh, hey. Hey. So right now my shutter speed was too bright for that. You sleepy? Night-night. Night-night. Oh, how's those little piggies? Oh, take it up. There we go. There we go. Whoa. Don't fall out. Whoa. Hi, babe. Hi, babe. So this is me on the window side. Trying to get some good, nice, even light on her. Hi. Whoa. If your baby's on the if your baby's on the bed and your bedding's white, it's great. Hey, don't get far. Whoa. So as you saw, the only window that's in this bathroom area open. The overhead lights, lamps, everything turned off. And we're using natural reflections. We're playing around with the variety, getting some great shots using those tips. But another thing I would suggest, I'm not gonna do it now because I'm worn out from doing that. But another thing I would suggest is to use different lenses. So I was using a 35 the whole time. I was able to, you know, move in, move out really quickly and get some good close-ups, good wide shots, but I really love an 85 too. The 85 is such a great focal length for kids, especially when you want to capture them and not be right at their faces. It's not always great for this age because as a mom, you need to be right there. So I am going to link the lens that I was using. I'll link my camera below, but that is basically how I capture this crazy monkey, how I captured pictures of Tristan when he was little, how I still capture him now, but it's not nearly the stuff of him. And anyways, so we are going to go, but that has been our photography tips, and we hope you enjoyed our video and liked it. Say yay! Can you say yay? Say yay! Show me yay! The one time. Yay! Say bye! Say bye-bye! Yay!